So this is my review for the Sony Bravia TV that I bought from Openbox roughly about a year ago. So just to give you a little bit of context, the reason I bought the TV from Openbox was because I had just moved to Vancouver and I was furnishing my apartment. And so I was furnishing it from scratch, and of course, you know, when you're doing that, money is a little bit tight. And I heard about Openbox and I decided to check them out, and found that they had some great TVs, not just TVs actually. I was tempted to buy a couple of other things from there, but I did buy this TV from there. It's a great television. It's the Sony LED television, so it's not even LCD, it's LED, and you can tell just how thin it is. It's ridiculously thin. I think it's less than 2 inches thick. It's about 1.5 inches thick, I would say. Which is perfect for wall mounting, because there's nothing worse than having those big fat LCDs that are protruding from the wall. The image quality is, of course, amazing on this TV. Being an LED TV, it's just an amazing TV. It's also got this really wicked feature. It's called a monolith screen. It's basically edgeless. It's edge-to-edge glass, which gives you this very kind of this monolithic feel to it. And so therefore it has this really nice kind of presence. The TV, the clarity is just fantastic. It's also 3D capable with an additional kit, which at the time I remember Openbox used to sell. I didn't purchase it at the time. This is a 40-inch model. They had a 46-inch model. I'm going to try to get the exact product model number. Hopefully it'll come up on the screen if I play around with the remote. This is the remote that comes with it. So it's your standard Sony universal remote. They do a fantastic job with these remotes, I find. It's even got a backlit feature to it, so you can kind of see the blue light going on there. Very convenient. It's able to control most of my components except for the cable box. Just to show you a little bit around the TV itself, the menu system. So this uses the Sony Home system, which if you have a PS3 or other Sony devices or DVD players, Blu-ray players, this is the same interface that they utilize. It's fantastic. It's even got some online capabilities built in. It's already got Wi-Fi built in, and that's my advice to anyone who's buying a TV. Make sure that it's not just Wi-Fi ready, but it's got the Wi-Fi built in. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck buying yourself a new dongle, which is an additional $100. So you want to make sure that it comes with it, or that you have an Ethernet connection, which is how this one is wired up. It's wired with that yellow cable, which is the Ethernet. But it is also Wi-Fi capable, and because of that, I can watch things like Netflix. There's a bunch of other things that you can watch on here. From my experience, I've tried some of them. For the most part, they all work. Like Epicurious, which is food-related, works. Wired TV works. Some others you need a subscription, but for the most part, it's just fantastic to even have this. The other great thing about this is that it is, I don't want to share too much of information on there, but it is also server ready. So for example, if you're running a media server on a computer through, I believe it's DNLA, it's a protocol, you can even access your server directly from your TV. You also can access your music directly from your TV, which is also pretty cool. Pictures as well. Pictures both on Picasa, which is an online sharing picture sharing website, as well as on your computer. Then lastly, you have the support menu, all the preferences. And this is the great thing about this TV, is that it is very customizable, even in terms of the display. Now, a lot of displays don't let you really fine-tune, you know, to the level that this TV lets you. And it's got some really great features in that respect. This is definitely a well-recommended TV. At the time, I don't think it cost me, I think it was like $600 plus taxes, something along those lines. So this is a TV that retails for at least double that price, and I've seen it at the Sony store for double that price. So I was very happy with the purchase, and the reason I also decided to buy from Openbox is, you know, TVs, the technology changes all the time. You know, what's new today, you know, 5 years down the road will be obsolete. And so I'd rather spend less get a relatively good TV like this one is, and then upgrade down the road. And so that's one of the other reasons that I decided to purchase this one from Openbox. Otherwise, you know, had I put twice the amount of money to buy the same TV, I would have had to be stuck with it for at least 10 years to basically make it worth the investment that I put into it. So at least this way, down the road, if I want to upgrade to, you know, whatever's coming out next, whether it's Ultra HD or 4K TV, or even upgrade the size, I would certainly be able to do that. And speaking of size, this is a 40-inch. My only regret, and this is a personal choice that I made, but my only regret was not buying a bigger TV. I should have bought a 46-inch. But again, it all depends on your space. At the time when I had this TV in the first place that I was living at, the distance between the couch and the TV was not so great, so the 40-inch made perfect sense. But in larger rooms, you would certainly want to think about getting something a little bit bigger. You know, 46-inch I think is a good size. And I know that the TVs since when I bought this one have changed a lot, but a couple of things to look for, some advice. LED over LCD, I would say. If you can find LEDs, again, there's differences between local dimming, which is the backlight, versus a full array lighting, and so that does make a difference. Look for a really high refresh rate, so we're looking at least 120 Hz to 240 if you can. Plasma TVs already start at 600, that's just the way that they're made. Look for really good contrast ratio. The contrast ratio is from the levels of white to black, and you want to have as wide of a spectrum as possible, so you want to make sure that you have a wide spectrum. Inputs. You want to have as many HDMI inputs as you can possibly have. This TV thankfully has quite a few. And it's great because, you know, you'll be adding more devices to your TV. If you have an Xbox, your PS3, your cable box, you know, all of these things will take up an HDMI port. So it's always nice to have as many of those as possible. Wi-Fi built in, as I said, is a great feature, and I would certainly recommend that you have a TV with Wi-Fi that's already pre-built into the system as opposed to one where you have to purchase a dongle separately. An additional advice I would give to anyone, now the sound on these TVs is not bad, but you have to remember that the speakers on these are really, really small. And so they're not going to drive a lot of sound, you know, especially in a very loud, you know, very loudly, well, so consider maybe buying the Vizio soundbar as well. There you go.